I don't think I was recording. I was talking and I wasn't recording. Now you have a job that you like and you're pretty successful, but there are still ways that you could improve. What are my tips for doing well at that job that you have that you think you'll be great at? Well, here are a few. I currently work from home now, and this is my work space. It is a desk in my guest room. And one thing that I found that really helps me is leaving little reminders for myself everywhere. So I have a daily morning report that I have to send out by 8:45 a.m. every morning. And so I wrote that, and it's right at my eye level on this whiteboard desk. So when I sit down and start up my computer, which is covered in stuff right now, but when I sit down and start up my computer, that is one of the first things that I see, and I remember that I need to get that ready to send out. Another tip, my job isn't necessarily the most structured, especially with training and my leadership responsibilities. I have things that I need to get done, but I can kind of set up my day in a way that works for me. That's not always the case, but I do have some flexibility with my schedule in my workday, and I set up times to get things done. I can't just have a to-do list and work on it. I need to set up specific blocks of time where I take care of the tasks that I need to get done. And having that extra structure is really beneficial for me, because that means that I don't have gaps of time where I should be doing something, but I can't decide what to get started on, or maybe I get distracted. Having dedicated blocks of time for one specific task is really beneficial and really helps me get those tasks done. I also write down everything. This is a notepad where I wrote down some stuff that I needed to know. Here's a sticky note that was off to the side of my desk. Here's another folded up note of stuff that I needed to remember. I also try not to start a task and then pause it and start another task. I try and knock the entire task out while I am working on it, because if I have to pause it, and again, this is idealistic, it's not always the case, but if I have to pause something that I'm working on and come back to it later, chances are I'm not going to remember exactly where I was or exactly what I was thinking about when I was working on that task the first time. And that could result in something missed in a QA, or that could result in forgetting to finish the task. So I try to knock it all out at once. I also use a wall calendar. So I have all of my important work dates written up there, so I can glance at it and figure out what's going on during my week just by looking over to the side of my desk. I, of course, also use my Outlook calendar all of the time, and I write down every direction, every task that I'm told or that I need to get done. And my system for writing down those things is not the most organized. I have paper pads and pens all around me, but I write them down. I try to be organized about it, but that's not always the way it goes. But as long as I write them down, I'm much more likely to remember it. Even if I do add it to my Outlook calendar after that, I need to physically write it down. So that's another tip. Anything that you need to do at work, write it down. It's a little different now that I'm working from home, but we will be transitioning back into the office sometime soon, probably around July. And there can be a lot of distractions in the office, especially because part of our company is client facing and they are talking on the phone all day, every day. So it's not exactly the quietest office space. When I'm able to, I have my headphones in and I'm not listening to podcasts or audiobooks, even though I would love to be, because that will distract me. So I'm listening to music, and probably music that doesn't have many lyrics, or if it does have lyrics, it's not a song that I will feel the need to sing along to, because I definitely do the thing where if I'm listening to a song, I start typing the lyrics instead of whatever I need to be typing. So I find something that will drown out the distractions around me, but also won't be a distraction in itself. One last tip, and that is one that I kind of had a hard time with because I'm not a very vocal person. I ask for clarification whenever I need to, when I am given a task. I ask questions, and that is so I don't have to stop the task to figure out what I'm doing, and that also takes out a lot of anxiety about the task. If I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm much more comfortable, and it's much easier for me to get started and actually complete that task, instead of me putting it off because maybe I'm worried about doing a bad job because I don't know exactly what's expected of me, or something similar. So ask questions when you aren't sure, get clarification when you need it, and that could really help speed things along for you if you struggle with getting work done or getting started on particularly challenging or confusing tasks. I'm just a girl with a job that I like, who recently got promoted. Yeah, okay, I'm bragging on myself about that one. I'm proud of myself. A lot of this stuff kind of feels like common sense. It feels like stuff that everyone should be doing or trying to do, but it's what I have to offer and it's the advice I have to give. So I hope that you found it helpful in any way whatsoever. And if you have tips and tricks on being successful at work or finding a job where you will feel successful, especially if you have ADHD, leave them as a comment below. I'd love to hear them. I'd love to chat with you. Give a thumbs up to this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this.